right, so we are now recording. And let's share this. You guys, I'm so excited that everyone's on and we have this opportunity to share all this information and get this out to everyone. I mean, it just makes me so excited that we're, you know, able to do that. So, yeah, it's so fun. So anyways, what I'm going to do is I'm actually not going to hit and make this slide here full because we're going to go straight to a video after this. And so it's just easier not to. But I just wanted to welcome everybody who jumped on, took your time out of your evening to learn about what we have our hands on. If whoever invited you to this Zoom tonight, just thank them. That means they care about you so much. And it means that, you know, they highly respect you and your health and everything that you're made of. For me, I was actually introduced to this company and these products in 2013, so 6 years ago. And when I was introduced, I was blown away by the science. And so I'm so excited tonight to be able to talk to you about that science. But here's the fun part was when this happened was I was sitting in a Bible study and my friend Shannon Hemphill, she said, hey, she writes me this little note and it just says ABC live.com, and she hands me, she slides me this paper and says, when you go home, read that or watch this. And I was like, okay, that's weird. But in my mind, I thought, she's never led me astray. She's a great friend of mine. And so I wanted to, you know, watch what it was. And I remember watching it thinking, I'm not sure what this is, until the next day when they called me and they were very excited to tell me what this is. I see team members of mine are texting, so I just want to make sure that nothing's going on wrong with the actual presentation. Oh, I don't know what that is. Okay, sorry. And so so I definitely, you know, watched the video because I wanted to know what it was about. And then a few days later, they called me and they told me. And so what I want to start with tonight is I want you to see where it began, where it's begun for most people. If you could see other people in the company right now on this Zoom, and I said to them, when you watch the ABC investigative report, did that do something for you? I promise you about 99% of the people will raise their hand and say, yes, it did. And so I want to start there tonight because I think it's so unbelievably important for you guys to see that. So let me go to that right now. All right. So let's begin here.
Following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills?
Sorry guys, I want to make sure I make this bigger. And I'm not sure why I can't click that. Of course, all the technology is going to happen tonight, all the technology issues, because that's how that always works.
Just double click on the screen, Jeanette.
Okay. Thanks, Tanya. There we go.
Who doesn't?
Following is an ABC primetime investigative report that aired in 2005.
You want to get an edge on turning back the clock with just a few pills? Who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life.
It may not look like the fountain of youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig.
Okay.
I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver.
This is a pretty exciting stuff you're finding, huh?
It is. We're very excited about it.
His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And as decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around this small yellow pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing.
Bad for the body,
Leading to disease.
leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging. It is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the main characteristic biochemically of the aging process.
It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm it.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not in itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can slow it down.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. Taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old. But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. The result, my level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which if extrapolated back is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of these: strokes, heart attacks,
Even mental disease.
yes,
Depression?
Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. And I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old and find out that I should have taken it.
When that news report aired on primetime in 2005, many major medical universities began studying Protandim Nrf2. They went on to publish their peer-reviewed research, and the understanding that this product activated our genes, optimizing our own genetic potential, was revealed. Science has now helped discover the 3 theories of aging.
At the core, we have to get the basics. We have to get the basics right. When we look in the cell, when we look at the molecular biology, so myself being a molecular biologist, we want to know everything that's happening between that first signal that's coming into the cell and then that physiology that's happening. But what's been shown in aging research is that communication signal gets lost or muted or attenuated as we get older. It starts as early as our 20s. So again, where this nutrigenomic research is so exciting is that we can utilize extracts from plants to basically reawake NRF2 and bring it back to its full potential. This is what's so exciting about LifeVantage. We're looking at this layered approach now to these cell signaling pathways, what's happening to them as we age, and then basically layering a nutritional approach to these different theories of aging through nutrigenomics to try to keep us as healthy for as long as possible. Researchers found early on that as we age, we basically start to accumulate free radicals and other oxidants. And if left unchecked, this can go on to have very serious consequences to the cell. But what's so interesting is our bodies have been able to capture the ability of antioxidants and put that capacity inside of our DNA. The main protein that's responsible to turn on those antioxidant detoxification enzymes is a protein called NRF2, and is literally flipping the switches on our DNA to turn on these protective mechanisms. So Protandim Nrf2 is so interesting because it was specifically designed, clinically shown to activate the Nrf2 protein, but it's basically bringing our cells to a heightened state of readiness when those insults do ultimately enter the cell. Another major theory of aging that's out there is the mitochondrial theory of aging. As we get older, our mitochondria basically start to break down. And if you're familiar with what the mitochondria are, that is where the vast majority of our energy production is happening. So you can think of the mitochondria as being the cell's powerhouse. And so when they stop working, we stop working. So as researchers went in and looked at what's happening in the mitochondria with age, they find that they're not producing as much energy. They become far less efficient. So Protandim NRF1 Synergizer was specifically formulated to target mitochondrial health. NRF1 has been shown to, one, remove damaged or bad mitochondria, but then also is responsible for the biogenesis, right, the making of new mitochondria within the cell. A theory of aging that's really caught our attention lately is this sirtuin theory of aging, and it's a really interesting theory. So if we're, again, talking about inputs versus outputs of the molecular biology through the cell signaling pathway, they went in and they identified a family of proteins called the sirtuins. So what does it take for these sirtuins to work? One thing that they found absolutely required for sirtuin activity is a molecule called NAD. You actually see just a tremendous amounts of health benefits coming as a result. Healthy longevity, a healthy vascular system, helping us maintain cholesterol levels already in the normal range, and then a lot of cognitive functions. So our mood's a little bit better, we can think a little bit clearly. You do start to get some increases in energy. So of course, NAD becomes a very intriguing molecule. So we went to work, we formulated Protandim NAD Synergizer specifically to target NAD and NAD-dependent pathways with the ultimate goal of increasing sirtuin activity. Okay, so we saw the individual product working amazingly individually. We had the suspicion that there was going to be a massive synergistic effect between the three products in the Protandim family. Guess what we found? A massive synergistic effect. This is the data that I showed you for the individual products upregulating their respective genes. But what did we find with the Tri-Synergizer? In the NRF2 gene, an additional 1,500% increase. Do you see the synergy? NRF1 increased to 120%, or a 69% further increase. How about the NAD gene? Went up to 227%, for an almost 1,800% increase. That's the excitement. So I'm incredibly excited about what LifeVantage is doing with its Protandim family of products, how we're addressing these three different theories of aging, the free radical theory of aging, the mitochondrial theory of aging, and now the sirtuin theory of aging. It's really opening up the door of possibility. I also really think it's going to start to change the conversation that people are having out there as it relates to healthcare. So taking a more proactive approach to our health and wellness instead of a reactionary approach.
Oh, and one more thing. This is how you feel.
All right. Holy smokes, you guys. Like, if that video doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will. But when I see that, I get excited. I've never been known or have ever thought of myself as a science geek or a nerd or anyone who was interested in that type of stuff. And to tell you what, when I dove into the science and what this meant for our health, and on that, that other level of nutrition, it just completely changed everything for me as far as who I am. And I consider myself now, a science geek per se. So what are we talking about here? We're talking about a new technology that's called nutrigenomics. For myself, I had no idea what that meant. I didn't know, anything about nutrigenomics. So nutrigenomics is the scientific study of the interaction of nutrition and genes, specifically with regard to the prevention or treatment of disease. So we're not talking about here, you guys, we're not talking about a fad diet. We're not talking about a trend in nutrition. We're talking about going in and actually fixing our DNA, which is exciting. So, nutrigenomics, you guys, is changing everything. It is changing the way we are looking at medicine. It used to be that we would go to our doctor and we would talk to him about our sickness when we were sick. Now we're talking about being able, like Dr. Brian Dixon was talking about, being able to be proactive in our health. And what I love is that today people are more interested in being proactive about their health than waiting until they're sick. And that just absolutely excites me, because I never thought that was the direction I was in. I've always been relatively healthy. So when I was introduced to this, I never even thought about, different things that I needed in my life as far as, health and wellness or anything. The only time I went to the doctor was really to have my children, my 3 girls. I didn't really go to the doctor for anything else. So now to look at this and know that I have something so powerful that I can pass on to my daughters at this age, and where they're sitting at now, they're able to start that path of proactive health now. It beyond excites me. Like, I can't even sit still. I just want to tell everybody about this. So, nutrigenomics is exciting. It's that study. It's just the studying of our DNA and how nutrition goes in and just fixes things. So here's where this all began. So that ABC investigative report, it came out in 2005. That's the little letter, the little note that my friend Shannon slipped to me and said, hey, watch this. I watched this and I was blown away. Why was I blown away? Because what I saw changed my mindset in health. When I heard those doctors on that video say that oxidative stress was linked to over 200 diseases, that oxidative stress was linked to Alzheimer's disease, that for me changed it, because Alzheimer's is so big in my family. And so for me, that completely changed the game for me. I was interested. I wanted to know a little bit more about that. The crazy part was, when I started really researching this, I had no idea what type of, what type of company was selling this. What excited me was the science behind it, that ABC investigative report, that guy going out, John Kionis, who I've watched as a kid, who chased people down the parking lot, thrusting a microphone in their face saying, what do you have to say for yourself? Because their job is to go in and debunk what companies are claiming. And the claims that were being made, the science that was being made on this product completely just rocked the medical community. So why is it now in that network marketing or direct selling? Well, because they tried to do it in that retail market. They tried to put it on shelves like GNC, CVS, Rite Aids, places like that. It just wasn't working. When this ABC report came out, the company wasn't ready. The company wasn't LifeVantage. The company was this small little biotech company out of Colorado. And this company had no infrastructure, no sales team, no marketing team. They weren't ready for the exposure that this ABC primetime investigative report gave them. And so they tried to just push it out there on the retail market, and it wasn't working. So in 2009, they decided to go head to head with direct sales versus retail, and direct selling, person to person, doing what we're doing right now, sold out by 300%. Why? Because people love to share, you know, the stories. They love people to hear, you know, how they're feeling and different things like that. You can't hear that on the shelves at GNC. And so it went into direct selling, which is so exciting to me that that's where our company began. It just makes it that much more unique. Our products are unique, but our story is just as unique. So let's dive in. What is oxidative stress? Like me, I was like, what's oxidative stress? I've never heard of it. My friend Brian sits down, he's an MD, and he says, oxidative stress is linked to the air we breathe, the water we drink, the food we eat, you know, exercise, our cell phones, you know, just putting these up to our head, microwave ovens, on and on. I mean, look at this apple here. That's what's happening in our body. That's what's happening to our cells. Our cells are oxidizing. They're starting to break down, and it's happening faster and faster and faster. And the reason for that is our world is developing, and the more it develops and the bigger homes we get, and, you know, the other cars we're getting, it's breaking down faster, and then that is causing oxidative stress. That oxidative stress is linked to over 200 diseases. As you can see in this little, I call it a flower, little diagram here. Look at those different diseases. For me, I looked at those and went, oh my goodness, I have diabetes in my family. I have Alzheimer's in my family. I've got this, and it just scared me enough to research. And so when I dove into the research, here's what I found. I found that LifeVantage is on a website called pubmed.gov. What is PubMed? PubMed is it stands for public medicine.gov, is a government site. That means you and I are paying for it, so we should be able to look at it, right? There are scientific studies in here, peer-reviewed studies, that are proving that our product Protandim, the NRF2 synergizer, does what it says it does. Here's the thing, is a study came out that said that our product Protandim will reduce oxidative stress 40% in 30 days, 70% in 120 days, 100% of the time. This happened in all mammals. That's a really bold statement. And I get that, because when I heard that, I thought, whoa, that's pretty darn bold. Well, it was so bold that it prompted John Keonis to come out and do that report. But not only did he see that, it also turned the heads of universities, scientists, you know, researchers. They saw that information as well. And they saw that science, and they were like, this is crazy. We need to research this, study it, and test it. And now because of that, we have different studies. I mean, you know, colleges like Harvard University, the Mayo Clinic, you know, we have the National Institute on Aging, you guys. That is so, so big. The American Heart Association. You can't tell me that the American Heart Association is not going to back something that doesn't have scientific evidence that it does what it says it does. So what exactly is Protandim NRF2? Like I said before, it reduces oxidative stress 40% in 30 days. It supports that natural cellular repair. So it's going in and it's just naturally fixing things. So the things, you know, the light switches that have been turned off in our body over time, the different things we're feeling, it's just going in and it's turning those light switches back on, and it's getting our body and it's repairing our cells down in a cellular level. I always tell people the N stands for nucleus. We have a nucleus in every cell of our body. That NRF2 pathway is in the nucleus of our cells. It's in every cell of our body, and it's going in and actually fixing our cell, it's fixing our DNA. This is why it's such a big deal. That National Institute on Aging, when you watch that ABC investigative report, it talks about that they're doing a study on lifespan, and that study's out. That study is actually proving that it has increased the median lifespan of male mice by 7%. Guys, could you imagine, I mean, to have a family member or someone that you love that you've lost lives 7% longer? I believe, and I believe that's an equivalent to about, 10 years. That to me is phenomenal, to think that somebody that I love could live 10 years longer because they were fixing their DNA, they were fixing their cells. That just is so exciting to me. So let's talk for a second about oxidative stress and what it does. I absolutely love this slide because it gives you a real look into what this is. It gives you a look into what direct antioxidants. We hear antioxidants all the time. You go to the doctor, they say, eat your antioxidants, take your antioxidants. We're taking different pills. We're eating blueberries, strawberries. We're eating all these good things. You go down to the corner market and buy, 7-Up with antioxidants. And I mean, antioxidants is a big deal. But direct antioxidants are working just 1-to-1. So one free radical in your body is being fought by that one antioxidant. That's a lot of blueberries. That's a lot of oranges that you have to eat for it to combat what is actually happening inside our body. So what if I told you, by just taking one little yellow pill, that NRF2 activator, that NRF2 activator, it's going to open up 1,000,000 to 1, and it's going to fight that every second of the day, all day long inside your body. It turns on our body's production of catalysts, glutathione and SOD. Everything I'm learning about glutathione, oh my gosh, you guys, everybody needs to upregulate your glutathione. It's just a must. It upregulates our glutathione by 300%. That is such a big deal. So reducing that oxidative stress, upregulating that glutathione, and doing this without having to eat millions of blueberries, we're talking about millions of activation with just that one little pill. That to me is a no-brainer. I mean, why wouldn't you want to just take one of those, right? And then the company wowed us by then coming out with a NRF. They found another pathway in our cells, and it's the NRF1 pathway. And so they came out with that other line. Dr. Brian Dixon was talking about that theory of aging, or that layering of, that we're having, that layering effect. So we got that oxidative stress layer theory, and now we have the theory 2, which is our NRF2 synergizer. That is our mitochondria, guys. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a science nerd, but I remember what mitochondria was. Mitochondria was something we learned in high school biology. It is the powerhouse of our cells. That is literally our body's engine. That is what we need in our body to produce those great healthy cells. I mean, we're talking about cells. They will function at peak performance when you have your mitochondria boosted, and we have that great, that boosting and that ability to create more mitochondria in our body. As we age, our mitochondria depletes, and as it depletes, we start feeling a little more sluggish and tired, and we're just not feeling as good. So if we have something that's actually creating more mitochondria and giving you more energy and giving you more cell function, why wouldn't you take something like that? And I mean, it's such a beautiful thing. Our mitochondria simply does this. It just converts our food, the energy of our food, into our cellular energy. So let's be honest, we don't all eat great these days. It just isn't we live in a supersized, economy. We live in an economy where everyone eats fast and they go through drive-through and they just go. So if you've got something that's going to boost that mitochondria in your body naturally, why wouldn't you? And so why should you care about that, right? Well, look over here on this other little slide with the little mitochondria there. This is why. These diseases are why. And for me, Alzheimer's was a huge deal because that is something so, so big in my family. Something that we've had to deal with many times in our family. So here's one, and I'll explain that here in a second. Sorry, I probably should have before, but here's something that excites me, you guys, that I haven't had an opportunity to share a lot about, and that is the third layer of our health, and that is that NAD. That's what Dr. Brian Dixon was talking about, that NAD that is supporting healthy longevity, supporting that removal of that cellular waste, you guys. That is exciting. So here's the thing that I found very interesting, that by the time you're 50 years old, so I'm talking for myself, that's like 4.5 years now. By the time I'm 50, half of the NAD in my body will be depleted. That just blows me away, because when you know a little bit about NAD, and let me read this to you, I found this to be extremely interesting. So let's see. So Dr. Matthew Cook, he did a lot of research on NAD supplementation. He did stuff on hyperbaric oxygen therapy. I mean, just so much stuff. And he said NAD is a vital coenzyme found in all living cells. It's essential for over 700 enzymatic reactions in your body, including ones occurring in your mitochondria. Without significant NAD, you're likely to die prematurely. So I read that and I go, I need my NAD working. I need my NAD giving me better mood, more focus, better concentration, more mental and physical energy, you guys. I need more physical energy. As we're aging, that energy is just going down. Supports our healthy inflammatory response. We know that inflammation is the root cause of disease. We need some healthy inflammatory response, and we're getting that with those different layers. Maintaining that you're within healthy range of that cholesterol levels, that's a big deal too. I mean, how many people here are struggling with their cholesterol, you know, and cardio and then our vascular system as well. You know, it is exciting. And then here's the part, and this is what I love, that video hypes you up in this part right here, because when you look at this put together, when you look at those 3 layered approaches to health, you're looking at your NRF2 pathway, your NRF1 pathway, and your NAD, your sirtuins. You're looking at are stacked, and you stack those together, and this is what you're looking at. It was exciting when we heard that the NRF2 pathway, you know, reduced oxidative stress by 40%. We are excited, but when you add everything with that, it's going to upregulate that healthy inflammatory response by 848%. That's the response, you guys. That should fire you up. That should get you so unbelievably excited. And then our NRF1 pathway. So regulating that mitochondria, you know, getting that mitochondria regulated in our body, it's upregulating that, by 120% by being in this stack all together. And then our NAD, you guys, 227%. Our NAD is so important. So many people are learning nowadays about fasting, and what that's doing is detoxifying our cells, and it's cleaning up our cells to give us better energy. People are doing intermittent fasting, so they're doing that fasting throughout the day, periodic fasting. And the awesome part is you take our NAD, and it is actually working the same way by 227%, you guys. That's exciting. You take these all together and think about what your health will look like in the future. It's exciting. So not only with our layered approach to health, we also need to think about our gut health. Our gut health is something I didn't really understand a ton about, but what I understand about gut health now, I wish I would have known way back then. So I like to just simply start out with gut health with simply this. Our gut is our second brain. I heard the first time I heard that, I thought, well, that's kind of crazy. I've never really thought about it that way. But think about this. I'm sitting in my room. Someone walks through the door and they scare me. Where do I generally feel like you feel it in your stomach? Or you're falling in love and there's someone that you're like, oh my gosh, you feel it in your stomach. That gut reaction to our brain, it is such a real thing. And so not only do we have this awesome, probiotic that works, that gets 60% of those live cultures in our lower intestine, where other products, it doesn't work. Only about, I want to say it's like 14% get down into our lower intestines. We're talking about it's working down inside way down deep. And how it's doing that, it's doing it with this patented system, and it's called BioTrack. If I showed you, and I wish I would have had one with me because I love to show this. If I showed you one of our probios, they're these round little balls. And I like to refer to them as bath bombs. As you're taking them, they're just kind of going through our stomach, fizzing through. They get to our stomach acid. Some of it gets eaten up, but a lot of it gets down into our lower intestines. Why? Because of that patented BioTrack system. That's what makes our probio unique. That's what makes it different. That's what makes it special from other probiotics out there. The other thing is we also have a product called Wellmune in there. Wellmune technology is big. I mean, it is an immune system enhancer. It's not going to like speed your immune system up. I've had people ask that. It's just, it's working with that technology to help keep your immune system healthy and working. I love this because my daughter just had strep throat. She got, she had to get on an antibiotic because that's just, what she had to do for strep. And it made me happy to know that she has a great healthy probiotic in her body that can help fight off all the stuff and all the effects that happen with antibiotics that are in your body. My understanding is antibiotics stay in your system up to 6 months. And so to know that she's got something like this, along with Nerf 1, Nerf 2, NAD, I mean, all this great health going on in her body, that she's just, everything's going to keep fixing. Everything is going to be doing great. The other one I love is omega. Every woman loves omegas. You hear fish oil. I always thought take your fish oil because, silky hair, your hair grows long faster, your nails, on and on and on. But, omega is so much more than that. It's our health, our heart. It's our healthy immune system. What I love is that our omegas are omega-3 and omega-7. There are no omega-6s. We get enough omega-6 in our foods. We get enough omega-6 in so many things. So to have an omega that actually has omega-3 and omega-7 in it, along with vitamin D in there, that's phenomenal, you guys. I mean, we live in a country where, vitamin D is something lots of people have to supplement vitamin D. And so to have, vitamin D along with our omegas, it's great. Here's the other cool part. You can eat it. My 11-year-old loves to be at she loves to be at the meetings, and then she'll take that little omega and she'll throw it in her mouth and she'll chew it up. I like to do that to people as well. If I'm doing a one-on-one, I'll say, hey, chew this up. If I give this to you, will you chew it? And most people are like, no, I would never chew up my omega, my fish oil, but they'll try ours. And I'm like, okay, so why? If I put a fish in front of you that smelled like your fish oil, would you eat it? And everyone's like, no. So then why are you taking that? I mean, we're talking about a fish oil that is so unbelievably pure that it has not a fishy aftertaste. It actually has like a citrusy aftertaste. And the other thing is you can actually track the bottle, this omega bottle, from boat to bottle. So you can see where this was caught in the ocean, which is absolutely phenomenal, you guys, and kind of fun to do as well. So, and then we have our food system. I love this because how many of you guys have been on a fad diet? I've done so many fad diets throughout my life. And what I love about our physique system, it is a healthy weight management system. We're not saying, hey, you got this healthy, fad diet that's going to last 30 days. We're talking about a weight management system, something that everybody needs. You got a prebiotic in that. The prebiotic is just phenomenal. It works perfectly with your probiotic. It's like fertilization on, for the plant. You're growing that seed. You got to fertilize that seed. And that's what the prebiotic is. That prebiotic, I didn't know much about that. I took the probiotic and loved it. I added the prebiotic to it and it completely changed the game for my gut health. That prebiotic helps with your digestive system in such a heightened way. I mean, it's like probiotic on crack. It is amazing, you guys. Like, you absolutely need to try this prebiotic. Then our fat burn, it is working with our visceral fat, with our belly fat, our organ fat, as you call it. What I love is it doesn't speed up your system. It doesn't make you shaky and jittery or anything like that. It's actually working, within your body with a citrus, it's got a couple citrus extra or what am I trying to say? Products in there, and it is working phenomenally. You're not going to feel that revved up. Like, people have asked about that because lots of people have done fat burns and they just feel revved up and kind of yucky. And then our protein powder. I've had many protein powders, and most of them I don't like. I don't like the taste of them. I don't like the ingredients that are in them. And here I am working out. I'm trying to, feel good, eat right. And then I take a protein powder that has awful ingredients in it. Ours is phenomenal and it tastes amazing. I love that it's just a vanilla flavor, because I can add things to it to give me what I need. If I want it to be strawberry, I add fresh strawberries to it, and it's like strawberries and cream. It is actually phenomenal, you guys, and it's working with whey protein and casein. It is amazing. You will actually absolutely love it. And then Axio. I can't live without this stuff. I am a coffee drinker. I do like to have my coffee in the morning still. But I'll tell you what, in the afternoon, about 11 o'clock, I'll drink an Axio, and it just changes it for me. I have more energy. I have more, concentration. I just feel like my brain is firing on all cylinders, and that's probably why I'm stumbling a little bit, because I am firing on all cylinders right now. My brain is just wanting to tell you everything and with so much excitement. And what I love about Axio is what we're seeing it do, the testimonies that are coming out from Axio. I mean, remember this, we're not telling you any of these products are going to cure, treat, or mitigate any disease. But what I can tell you is that there are some phenomenal testimonies out there that will just blow your ever-loving mind on what this actually does. The increased mood with this. My kids, they drink it first thing in the morning. Actually, my daughter, crazy enough, she drinks it before she goes to bed. People are always like, what? It calms her brain. So it's not an energy drink. It just calms her brain. She drinks the caffeinated one before she goes to bed to just calm her brain after a long day of school. And she goes to sleep and she loves it. That's when she loves to take it. So look at this here. This is a little kiddo who was struggling with some, mental clarity, trying to stay focused. And I mean, like, guys, this is after 2 weeks of taking Protandim and Axio. I have seen this type of testimony time and time and time again. If you are not on our Vitality Living page, please ask the person who invited you on here today to add you to that and tag you in some of these testimonies. You are going to be blown away at the potential of what Axio does. I mean, look at this. This is just 2 weeks, and it just brought that kid's calmed his brain down. I mean, it blows me away every time I see this. So, and then so it was a brain research that was done. And I would ask the person who invited you on this to have them send you the video of this doctor explaining to you why this brain mapping worked the way it did. This is after taking Nerf 1, Nerf 2, and Axio for 12 days. And this was a ADHD diagnosed teen. And the results, guys, they're not just overwhelming, they're astonishing. Like, I was blown away. I could watch that over and over and over. And it's something that you need to see. So if you're interested in this, ask that person. If you're not interested in this, ask that person to send this to you, because you definitely need to see that. You will be amazed, because we see way too many kids nowadays that are struggling with, attention issues, or, too many wiggles, or, ADHD, ADD, Asperger's, all of that. And so it's so unbelievably important for kids. So then, not only did our company have these phenomenal health products that are helping to keep our body working optimally, getting our fitness, helping us feel better, our gut health and everything, but they also decided that we need to look good as well. And I love that, because that NRF2 activation on our skin is amazing, you guys. So I have to tell you, I need to do some before and afters, but I used to have a really big spot right here on my face, and I've been using the entire system now for a few years, and I've been watching it slowly disappear. But then I started putting the eye serum now right here on this spot, and it has gone away so much that, I have people all the time saying, what are you doing? Well, like, how's that going away? What products are you using? Because it is just almost completely gone. That is Nerf 2 activation on our skin. That a study came out from Louisiana State University on just our little yellow pill Protandim, and it said that it stopped the spread of melanoma by 57% by just taking that little yellow pill. Our company said, you know what, we could do better than that. You take that little yellow pill on the inside, but we're also going to give you an outside approach, and we're going to give you the NRF2 activation on your skin, because our skin's our largest organ and we need to protect it. Guys, it is amazing what this does. That oxidation that's coming out through our skin and giving us age spots as we're aging and different things like that, and sunspots and whatever, that is reversing because of this. And then our NRF2 activated hair system. You guys, I didn't think much about my hair as far as shampoo. I thought that I bought some good shampoo. I always purchased the stuff from my salon, and I never really even thought about the fact that I needed something that was clean and didn't have perfumes and didn't have all this stuff, until I started learning the science behind what happens. It takes I believe that it's six seconds for it to be absorbed into your scalp when you put something on that, that's toxins. And so what you're talking about here, you're talking about a super, super clean, very, very clean shampoo, conditioner, and scalp serum. And the scalp serum is amazing. You guys, before my daughter's wedding, I had so many baby hairs sticking up. I had to stop using the scalp serum 3 months before my daughter's wedding, because I had so much baby growth. I was afraid that I was going to look like a chia pet at my daughter's wedding. I was like, I can't keep using this. My brother-in-law has the most phenomenal testimony when it comes to this scalp serum. Like, his hair is literally growing back. Like, he called it his thinking spot. His thinking spot is almost gone. I don't know if that means now he's not as smart as he was. Just kidding. But to see it going away, like, I'm literally watching before my own eyes, his spot just disappearing. It is giving him his life back. We don't think about the fact that men feel certain ways. We just see guys, they just shave their head bald, but some men out there don't want to be bald. Some men want hair. And so this is changing men's life as well. And then Protandim for our doggies. I actually just talked to a family member of mine whose doggie's been dealing with some issues, and I said, just get this dog on Protandim. It reduces oxidative stress just like our Protandim does. I just kept saying, I know it's gonna help your dog. I know. She texted me, she gave it to him that day, and then she texted me and said, oh my gosh, my dog literally jumped from the floor to my lap, from my lap to the couch, to the top of the couch, and started barking out the window, and she hasn't done that in 2 weeks. And she was like, could it be this stuff? And I said, I've heard crazier things. So I'm not going to say it is 100%, but track it. But yeah, you guys, dogs don't have a placebo. If they feel good, they feel good. They don't think they feel good because their friend next to them feel good. They just know they feel good. And we're talking about something that gives them, joint function, mobility, flexibility, giving them that NRF2 technology inside with and also giving them a beautiful shiny coat. So get this in your friend's dog. If you have someone who's not a believer and doesn't want to believe yet into pro tandem, say, hey, do you got a friend or do you have a dog that needs, a little bit more spunk? Give them a tandem. They'll be a believer like that. It is just crazy how fast it can happen. So this is our complete biohacking system, you guys. This is it. This is all of it. It gives you that optimal, right here, you're talking about a complete body system is our vitality stack. This is something everybody absolutely needs in their body. So why are we talking about all of this? And why am I excited? I'm excited about the science. So let me get into that part a little bit. I got excited instantly about the science because when I saw that investigative report, they said Alzheimer's disease was linked to oxidative stress. My dad was diagnosed with the onset stage of Alzheimer's at the age of 62, August of 2013. This fell in my lap September of 2013. And I was blown away. I felt like God answered my prayers because I was so nervous when my dad was diagnosed what was going to happen and how fast that progression could happen. And I remember asking him what were his biggest fears. And he said, I have two fears. He said, one, I don't want to look stupid. And my second fear is I don't want to forget all of you guys. And that hit me hard. And I was researching for something that could change, that could help my dad. And then this came into my life and the science absolutely blew me away. And I remember my dad taking it and him saying, okay, I need to take this because if I don't, I'm not going to know if I might not even remember if it didn't work. So I might as well take it. And he's, he thinks that's funny. But I'll tell you what, as his daughter, I just wanted it in his body because of the science behind it. But I did not believe in the business. I thought, man, that's the lazy man's way to get paid. Nobody makes money doing these. My parents used to do, I probably shouldn't say the company, but they used to do a company that sounds like a way. And I just remember my dad outside, scrubbing the ground, showing that the grease went away, and people were like oohing and awing, and we had all this stock of product in our garage, and they spent all this money, and then they ended up not being, rich and all the stuff that they were told they were going to be. So I wasn't excited about network marketing. I didn't think that it worked. But here is what's exciting. One, obviously, you're going to hear it works or I wouldn't be sitting here. But the thing is this, we are now living in an economy, which is called the new gig economy. By the year, it's predicted by the year 2025, they said that 85% of the US is going to be part of the new gig economy. People are looking for something in some way to make money. They're looking, they're using their car to make extra money. They're renting out a room in their home. Who wants a stranger in their home to make a little extra money? They're selling stuff on Amazon. It's crazy to me, but that's the new gig economy is people are trying to find a side hustle. We have a side hustle. We have a side hustle where they could use products, purchase those products from themselves and get paid. Purchase those products and give it to family members or get family members to purchase great products from themselves and get paid. To me, what a no-brainer. I don't have to rent my home or put too many miles on my car because now I could just introduce some amazing products to someone. I'm part of that gig economy. I'm part of making a little bit more extra money. It's exactly what people want, right? So here's the market research on network marketing and on these products alone. So anti-aging is a $300 billion a year industry. Skincare is $122 billion, not million dollar a year industry. Some of these shocked me. I thought weight loss would be a lot higher than 137 billion, but it makes sense. You can only buy so many weight losses in a box for 30 days. with the weight loss, with the weight management system, you're actually talking about something that people need every single month. They don't just need it for 30 days. They need it all the time. You know, pet care, $67 billion. Is this something big? Yeah. So guys, this slide right here changed it for me. I remember sitting there. I was such a brat. I wouldn't talk to anybody about the company. I didn't want to do the business. I actually sat down and figured out how much product I could sell to make it to the top of the company because I didn't understand how this all worked. And then I saw this and I went, what? And this is Rogers Bell curve is the red one, and the blue or purple one, whatever color you're seeing, it's blue to me, is the S curve. And the S curve is what every business takes. And that is simply this. You've got to start early. You've got to start. You've got to be the person who pioneers this. I saw a study that was done by Harvard University. Harvard University, it said that in one of these network marketing companies, and it's not LifeVantage, it's all network marketing companies, had to have three things. The first one was company had to be 18 months or older. We've been around since 2003. We've been we've been in network marketing since 2009. It's 2019. We're out there. We're good. We're fine there. Number two was you needed to have something that was 30-day consumable. You need something that's going to build you mailbox money, beach money that's going to come if you want it to or not. It's going to happen tomorrow. I get paid on the 15th of every month. I'm going to get a check from LifeVantage if I want to or not. They're just going to send it to me because I built that money in the early stages and I did it residually. So you want something that's 30-day consumable. Our products are 30-day consumable. The last thing is that you want to get into one of these companies under 150,000 distributors per country. We are roughly around 67,000 distributors worldwide, and we're in lots and lots and lots of countries. I can't even remember the number, so I'm not even going to try to fake it and tell you. It's like 14 to 15. I mean, it's a lot of countries, and we have 67 million people worldwide. It's insane to me, you guys, and 150,000. This changed it for me. And then what happens is the company stabilizes. When it stabilizes, that's at about $1 billion. So we're talking about, we're a $200 million company. We're talking about an $800 million growth that you have an opportunity to be part of. For me, that's when my business brain clicked on and I went, wait a minute. I've been doing the wrong business. I've been doing the wrong businesses my whole life. I should have been chasing this dream. I want to be one of those people to grow with this company and stabilize with this company. I want to be that person, and I'm behind products that I know and I love and everybody needs, right? It's exciting. So this is our income disclosure statement. Anybody here could, we can show this to anybody because we are publicly traded on the NASDAQ. So we have to cross our T's or dot our I's. I always say we have to cross our I's and dot our T's. So whatever way you want to see that. This we can show you. This is phenomenal, you guys. When I looked at this for the first time, I was like, oh my gosh, if I could get to the rank of Pro 2, I could bring in a little extra money to, so for some groceries, because that monthly average is about $54 a month. That to me was exciting. Pro 4, $1,400 a month. I was like, man, that would be like groceries, my car payment, some other stuff depending on the areas you live. I live in a small area, so that would do a lot. And for me, my dream was to be a stay-at-home mom. My dream was, and the reason why I pursued so many businesses was because I wanted to be a present mom in my children's life. And so for me, when I looked at this income disclosure statement, I said, man, in like 3 to 4 years, if I could get to that Premier Pro 5 rank, making on average about $2,900 a month, I will be able to quit my job. My daughter, Gabby, will, be in high school by then, and I'll be able to be present in the last few years of her high school career. And that changed it for me. And I was so excited. Let me tell you guys something. Not only did I hit that Premier Pro 5 rank, but I hit that Premier Pro 5 rank in 7 months. How did I do that in 7 months? I was excited and I told people about these products. I listened to what the person who invited me to see this, I listened to them and they said, do this, 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 and this. And it was as simple as that. That is how simple this business is. It's so easy to do. It's just so hard to do because all of that, everything that you're thinking is up here. You need to share and just tell people about this. And so to be able to hit that rank that fast and be able to now be a stay-at-home mom. If you guys saw my live before this, I said this changed my life completely. It did. In 7 months, I was able to quit my job. And and for the last, 5.5 years, or, a little over 5 years, I should say, I've been able to stay home with my girls. And not only was I present in my daughter Gabby's high school years, I have been present in some of her junior high and all of her high school years, and at every single thing that I possibly could. Warren Buffett says, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. And isn't that the truth, you guys? That is where coming in, finding a side hustle like this, turning your side hustle from a plan B to a plan A, like I was able to do, it's a no-brainer. You then own your own life. I feel like I own my own life now. I wake up when I want. Guys, things happen in the last little bit. I haven't done a presentation. I was telling Tanya I'm super nervous because I haven't done one in easily 3 weeks. I went to our business event. I went to Texas for business, for a wedding, but also did some business. And then my grandpa passed away. And for the last 2 weeks, I didn't have to work. I didn't have to do anything. I was very, very present with my family, very much able to spend time with my dad while he was having to bury his father. I was able to help them, clean out the home and do different things. And why was I able to do that? Because I jumped into something that I knew could possibly help me out down the road. For me, my goal was 3 years. It happened quicker. Why? Because I saw the products. I understood what I needed to share with people, and I just did it. And so what I'm encouraging you by saying all that is, look at your life and know that you got to dig that well before you're thirsty. I dug a well that when my grandfather passed away, I was able to be at my father's side the entire time. I was able to, walk through this whole thing with him because I feared him getting too stressed out over everything that he had to do with, with my grandfather's estate. And it changed it for me to know that I was able to be at his side. I want to give this gift to every single person that I know. If I could give the gift of foresight, if I could give the gift of what this could do for your life, I would do it right now. If I could download my brain into yours on how this could feel, I would do it right now, you guys. That is how important this is. So I love this. Never depend on a single income. So true. Make an investment of time to create a second source. That's the world we live in. It is time to create that second source, you guys. So that's it. That's all I got for you tonight. I would, recommend just talking to the person who invited you on tonight and get with them, have them send you that brain mapping, have them send you some other stuff. And anyways, guys, thank you so much. I hope you got some value out of this. Have a wonderful night. Bye.